Yo, what is up, guys? It's the host with the moist voice, and you're tuned in to the Wake Up Wednesday podcast and the Wake Up Wednesday weekend podcast special. And make sure to go to our Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok where we have way more content. Anyways, guys, let's get into the episode. Record. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wake Up Wednesday weekend podcast special. I don't have a mic right now, and it's 2:20 in the morning, but I'm just kind of rambling here. Oscar decided to take a nap, which is okay because we're kind of outside listening to like some rain stuff. But I was kind of rambling on I was talking to my cousin who was in university, and with all this stuff going on with the university, I'm kind of nervous, not gonna lie, about what's gonna happen in university. Like, am I gonna meet those people that are really putting encampments up in Fort Gaza, and I'm Turning Point USA guy, and so am I, will I align though? Well, I talked to my counselor, and she told me one or two, clubs are okay, but when you stretch yourself thin, I'm also off Cayman Jacks, 4 Cayman Jacks, maybe 3. These humidors, a couple of fucking what are they called? Turkey bourbon whiskey shots. I'm not sure. It's a pretty good night, I'm not gonna lie. But having a conversation with my cousin was very, very different, and yeah, there was this one chick that was very, very, in my opinion, liberal. I kind of mentioned my opinions on a a couple of things. Definitely didn't align with them. I kind of laughed it off, but also I'm not that guy to kind of just walk away from situations. So I'd rather just laugh it off and keep on going. And actually, one of the things, what is it? 2 minutes into the podcast, Jordan Peterson says is that when you're talking to someone, listen to what they gotta say, and they will tell you what they have, what they're really thinking of, really. And that's the other thing about psychology and therapy is that you kind of, your whole career is listening. Not gonna lie, your whole career is listening, which is crazy. Is you don't give any information, analytical, practical, literature, information to them until you deem it's ready. So you kind of have this proclivity to tell them, subconsciously, tell me what you got to do for about 4-5 months, 6 months even, and then I'll tell you what to do. So you're kind of putting that, schedule, or how you say, I don't want to say schedule, but definitely an obsession, in order to come on back, in the patient's term, because it is science-based. In a patient's term, oh man, I didn't get what I wanted to get, so I have to come back and see if other stuff that I tell him, aka things that I didn't, that went on in my world, he's gonna tell me what's wrong. And so you kind of keep coming back every week for 5 months, and then all of a sudden you kind of the therapist kind of comes out going oh yeah, no, you need to do this. And then all of a sudden you do what he's told. So it's kind of like that power struggle, but not even power struggle, because I hate the word power or dominance. So I would say cognitive, because at the same time, if you were pretty cognitive in your abilities, you would, be okay. You wouldn't be in the office in the first place, but definitely you would have some sort of grip. And so not a lot of people have a grip. That's why there's books by a female psychologist, I forget her name. Um, I have it. I haven't read it. I read a little, like 2 pages, 3 pages of it. It's called Grit. And I believe the beginning story was like she was was trained in order to be in like a soccer team or something, and she was obviously around other competitors, and so she kind of needed to catch up or be a level with them. And so, she had the competitive mindset. And so you get those type of people. But also, we go back into, oh my god, we just watched Deadpool 3. Jesus Christ. One of the commercials prior to it, because like my cousin Pelon was was literally like just going like, Jesus Christ, 30 minutes of ads. And I was like, oh, well, one of them was pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. One of them was like all these NBA players and sports athletes. It was very interesting because at the end of it was like, what am I a bad person? Oh my god. It really, really opened my, like, the whole time. I love watching movies, but that's just because I'm always analyzing them on how the director directed the movie rather than how the actor portrayed themselves. And so I guess I'm weird like that, but also we see that at least the ads with these sports people, they're at the end of it, they were going like, am I a bad person? Like, that was the last question. And in this day and age, it's like, because I'm competitive, because I'm following the rule of thumb of wanting to go towards my own highest good, am I a bad person? Because I leave you by the wayside. Because nowadays, it's like everyone's a bad person because they're not compassionate to someone's feelings, they disrespect someone's pronouns, they're not gender associative. It's like, oh my god, like, leave that shit at the door. Like, you're really out here. Like, you really want to pin that on people, especially in America. You're gonna meet the wrong redneck. You're gonna meet the wrong redneck, and who's gonna like just come upon you like a cheetah that's thirsty for someone that's just, I'm so weak, that's thirsty, that's just thirsty. It's crazy. I mean, I've I've seen a couple of videos of liberal people that express how they feel, especially in this day of feelings. Oh my god. Like, really, really, you can't change what you're doing right now in order to not feel how you're feeling. So the 80% of how you're feeling, you can't switch your career or switch your relationship status or switch anything else in order to make that 80%, 60%, a 20% decrease. And obviously a lot of people aren't that percentage like inclined to make. And so, you get these people that just like, let people live how they live. And they don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring, and like, oh, yesterday was yesterday, but today, oh my god. So like today on DoorDash, Oh, Jesus Christ. I could have sworn, and I say I could have sworn because I'm so faded, but I just met a lot of these attitude motherfuckers. Like, literally, if I were to report you to corporate right now, if I were to be that Karen on how you just treated me in the line, and like, also, there's that perspective of, well, how did she treat you? It's like, well, you think you're out here like your own being, but no, you clocked in. You have your own, you signed up. As soon as you punch in those numbers, you're part of a contract. You're within a business standard, and you agreed and abide by certain rules. So act like it. Period. Whether Chipotle, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, fucking Hog Wild. I don't give a fuck. Why do you have an attitude? I saw this one short of this guy who came in. So, like, it was obviously himself portraying, like, as if he was the employee. But it kind of happens all the time, I feel like. This guy, he gets, Jesus Christ, excuse me. But um he gets the wrong food, and then he goes back on like, yo, y'all, I wanted a Big Mac with fucking no lettuce, extra sauce. And the employee, takes the bag like all fucking with an attitude, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll fix that for you. And like 10 minutes later, he gets the burger bag. Okay, I fixed that for you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for letting us know. And then the guy goes like, well, I shouldn't have let you know if you didn't, fucking get it wrong. Why are you acting like what was with that attitude in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, what? Well, like, why are you mad that I came back because you didn't get the order right? It's on y'all, not me. Why are you acting like it's on me? Like, for real? Oh my god, it's so crazy. So at Chick-fil-A, oh, they're so bad at this. Like, dead ass. I get a lot of attitudes, and also, I think I talked about this on the other pod like a couple months ago about the Starbucks on 21st, or at least like Central and Rock Road versus the the Harry and Rock Road. The Harry and Rock Road is so nice, like they kind of just give you your drink and fuck off. But the fucking, oh my god, the Central and Rock Road, it's like if you don't use your own pronouns, you're gonna get banned. Like for life. Like it just seems like that. Like it seems like their own San Francisco for like from 2 to 5. Like dead ass. Like dead ass. And I love how Deadpool 3, which we just watched earlier, um, acknowledged that. Like luckily I'm not the crazy one here, basically acknowledging all these people with these binary pronouns and gender dysphoria, which is really gender dysphoria, which is a shame that the guy in Canada got banned, literally banned, because he just not discovered, but definitely acknowledged and cited gender dysphoria in Canada, which was spread all around the world. In like late 2016 or 2017, got banned from his job because of this woke ideology. And let me tell you this. Oh my god, I just got hit up by this fucking guy. Oh my god. This is with my days of making this whole party planning club shit. This guy named James Sterling. I'm gonna call him out because let me tell you, he is a bag and a half, and I really think he he is on the wagon. Like as far as like the you know needs to be in the loony bin in the 1950s, where they were kind of just bagging up every single psychopathic motherfucker out here. He challenged my ideology, I guess you could say, because it is my ideology, about what's going on with the woke. ideology nowadays about if you go woke, you go broke. And Jack Black decided to cancel $15 million worth of concert, already paid for concert sales, because of what Kyle Gass said about it. Oh, we hope that whoever shoots Donald Trump next aims a little better. And so Jack Black was basically like, "Oh, we don't condone this, and A, B, C, and the other. So we're just gonna cancel all the thing." So he effectively canceled himself before, the woke mob decided to cancel him because of what his partner said. And this woke motherfucker decided, and like I said, the guy that I met when I was lost in space, high as a motherfucker, adding anybody, and definitely doing this party planning thing. Which was the way I met him was because I was doing MDMA, fucking psychedelics, and all this other shit. So obviously, you know, things attract, right? And so I met him through that cycle, and he was also doing his own thing. um he also had his own name, literally Sterling Productions, like his last name on shit. So talk about egocentric. Anyways, so he decided to comment on my post, which I'm just here to kind of post out what I post. It's social media. It's not always about getting clout. It's kind of about voicing your own opinion. That's what Twitter was for a long time ago, until the woke ideologues decided to fucking take a part of it and then get bought out by Elon Musk, and now anyone can post on it. But on Facebook, at least, I get to post whatever I want to post, and this guy decided to comment on it, going like, "Well, what does woke going broke mean?" And it's like, well, it's easily defined. It's in the name. If you decide to be hyper compassionate on other people's feelings rather than the freedom of how you want to speak, aka Kyle Gass, because it was pertaining to the situation, is how Kyle Gass was speaking, then why is Jack Black canceling $15 million worth of shows because of what his partner said? And then he decides to kind of comment about, well, because Jack Black was the highest value of him was to cancel all this thing. How can you call him woke? Because he knew it was gonna offend people. I think rock and roll and metal was all about giving a fuck what people think. It's kind of like, if it's over a good riff, if it's over a good guitar riff, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Like dead ass. Like dead ass. I mean, there's a lot of metal songs back in the 80s and 90s that were pretty hardcore that wouldn't fly today. I still get a notification on Suicide Solution from Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads. One of the best albums ever. Fucking Blizzard of Oz. Suicide Solution. Literally. I get a notification going like, if you want to play this, it's restricted and it may cause offense. Just because of the name. It's literally like listening to the whole song for so long, it literally portrays wine is fine and whiskey's quicker. So Ozzy is acknowledging that alcohol is a gateway to faster death. And that's a problem. He's acknowledging that. Suicide Solution. You're causing your own death because you decide to get on all these other different drugs, especially alcohol, because it's well known, and I'm obviously on it, but it's well known that alcohol is a poison. And so if you take enough of it, you won't wake up the next day. So take that as you will. Do it with what you wish, but it's definitely real. That's why it's so popular. It wouldn't be a fucking single if it wasn't real. And so you get those notifications going like, "Oh, because we're so compassionate about suicide, we're going to give you a whole, you know, pro a whole fucking advertisement or a whole fucking warning, if you will, about this song, and it might cause this and that and the other." And it's like, Jesus Christ, like, relax. Like, this is from the 80s. This is an 80s song. People were getting drunk to this song, for God's sake. It's a good fucking song. Randy Rhoads' riff fucking shreds, fucking kills. Okay, Randy Rhoads is amazing. Is an amazing guitar player. But also, when nowadays these kids are so weary on the suicide word or like the rape word, the Rolling Stones, shelter, give me shelter. The song "Give Me Shelter." Why isn't that banned? Literally, the background singer saying rape is only a shot away. What can you break down with that? It's only a shot away. Literally, everyone has their own decision, and if you wanted to make that decision, you can do it. It's only a shot away. If you were that psychopathic, you can do what you wanted to do to that woman. There it is. It's been acknowledged for so fucking long, and people are already like, "Oh, it's so offensive. Block that from everybody. I'm the victim." Oh my, like, please, like, relax here. Like, literally Deadpool 3 made a perfect example of a lot of things, especially with this woke ideology. But this Sterling guy that decided to argue with me about this shit, because it was literally an argument until I messaged him personally, going like, "Would you like to be on the podcast? I would love to invite you on the podcast. I want to extend this, conversation further." And he said, "Oh, I can't. I don't have ready for this time for it. Cake News wants an interview with me, and I don't even have time for that." What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What the fuck does Cake News being in an interview with you and you don't have time for that being relative to anything that I want to do with you and having this conversation with what you think? It's like, well, you get these woke motherfuckers who are like, if I put something that is deemed important to the relative city limits, if you will, because Cake News is just Wichita, Kansas. If I tell you that I have something going on relative to something bigger than you, then you will respect that I don't have time for it. And it's like, I literally responded with, "Okay, let me know, bro. That's it. That's it. Let me know. You're just another person." I literally just wanted to get more intel about how you think. But did I give a fuck about Cake News? What does that have to do with it? It's kind of like a girl going like, "Oh, my phone is about to die in it's at 5%. It's at 5%. Why did I have to know that? You just let it die, literally. And then when you charge it up, we're like, "Oh, my phone died." Oh, that's cool. But then again, you could have charged it, right? And so it's these little things that a lot of this woke ideology like to portray, if you will, of these little things that make them think like they're so important. And it's like, literally, just go about your day. If you're not an Elon Musk, if you're not a Ray Kroc who developed McDonald's, okay, he kind of swindled the McDonald's brothers into selling their own IP for a million, what, 1.3, 1.8 million dollars. It's okay. I got an A for that assignment. At the end of the Eric Erickson stages, I said on the last stage about about generativity, and I would want my name on the end of a library, well, look at Ray Kroc. His name is not. His last name isn't McDonald's, but it's Kroc. But he had the generativity of seeing what these McDonald's brothers had and didn't take advantage of. Because in the movie, quote unquote, it said, there's something about McDonald's that just had it. And then one of the guys said, it's like, well, what is it? I think it was Dick going like, what is it? And it's like, enlighten me. You know, it's like, even you don't know. Enlighten me. The name, McDonald's, you know, it can be anything you want it to be. It can, at the end of it, it's like, at the end of the quote, it's like, it's America. You know, it's literally America. McDonald. Oh, McDonald had a farm. That's how American folk song can you get. You know, he decided to take advantage of their last names and make a franchise out of it. Because these guys were so stagnant. So one of the Erik Erikson's studies was generativity versus stagnation. So you get like two different old people. One of them having investments into 401k and millions of dollars and having their family name set in stone versus the old man that doesn't have a single cent in retirement and is in a retirement home or even in their own home rotting away like any other human being. Well, which one would you rather be? You know, I'd rather be the guy with the Renteria library. I'd rather be with the guy with the Renteria soccer park, Renteria homeless shelter. You know what I mean? It's like, these are the things that are important to, at least to me. You know, not necessarily anything else, but it definitely says something when these things benefit other people, but when you have your last name like this Sterling character doing these raves with his last name on it, I see what you stand up for. I see what you care about more. You'd rather have fucked up people on MDMA and acid and mushrooms fucking all night long and having orgies over bass booming music rather than having their lives strive to the highest possibility, which is okay because I know that the next day they're going to probably want a park to go to, a library to read a book from, and you can't take that away from anyone. So why not take the ultimate sacrifice and put all that shit aside, like the raves, the parties, and everything. Go towards the ultimate good, which is develop a park, a library, or something of that nature, a business, if you will. And then, because you're only 20 for so long, at 40 years old, go to Italy, have a yacht filled with 21-year-old bitches, and have caviar sucked off from your nuts. Because why not? Because you're 40 years old and you got it. Instead of getting that shit right now, having 4 babies from the same bitch and regretting everything that you did because you're in a small town and you think, oh, this is going to get me some type of way. You ain't Nelly. You ain't Usher. You ain't 50 Cent. You ain't Kendrick Lamar. You ain't never going to be J. Cole. What you think you're gonna do with all this parties and raves? You ain't gonna be fucking Skrillex, you know? Oh my god. It's hilarious. It's literally hilarious when I see these kids doing these raves, and it's like, you really think, I mean, one day, you know, I might eat my own words. You know, I have the humility to do that, but at the same time, it's like, whew, you really think, really think there's no other better path. There's no other good. There's no other ultimate good, because in this world we have ultimate evil, ultimate good, Tao Te Ching, yin and yang, the serpents going around each other, the white and the black along with the little bit of black in the white, a little bit of white in the black, a little bit of evil in the good, a little bit of bad in the a little bit of evil in the good, a little bit of good in the evil. Serpents chasing each other forever and ever in that circle of life. It's like, why not be successful within that path? Why not be successful within that whole circle? Oh, because I'm very compassionate about others. You really are. So like the compassionate mother that decides to castrate her own son because he thinks he's a girl, and it's like, well, look at my little girl. He thinks he's a girl, and so I'm just a good mother. I'm just a good mother. It's really about you, not really about the kid. Because my son is feeling this way, I'm the ultimate good. Really? Okay. So it's about power. Right. Interesting. Well, like in Deadpool 3, we've seen this non-binary bitch power, like literally power hungry for almost everything within the void, and then goes into the real world and tries to fuck everything up for everyone else. That's what we're seeing right now. A minute amount of people trying to garner the power in order to fuck everything else for everyone else. Burning American flags, graffitiing American monuments, for God's sakes. What makes you do what you gotta do right now? You're spray painting over. What a contradiction in and of itself. Literally. You think your twin brother was killing you in the womb, and so you just have this whole revenge scheme in order to put everything in the void, and then you have the ultimate power? Relax. Okay? We've seen the evidence. Okay? Any female ruler, and this is a big one because you really have to go dig deep within the female rulers, but so far what I've heard from at least I think it was Matt Walsh or some conservative motherfucker decided to do the research. Female ruler like Queen Elizabeth, any female ruler had a war, and did that voluntarily, rather than the male rulers that negotiated with peace treaties and everything. There's been very, very, very little to no peace treaties with women rulers, if you will. Political women of power. And it's like, why do you want power? Because then, if there's male toxicity, wouldn't you being in power now introduce feminine toxicity? Right. So you don't want to acknowledge that, but you rather acknowledge, oh, because men are in CEO power, CFO powers, women can't go into those statures. No, they can. You guys, by the literature and statistics, you don't put up the hours. You really don't. You really don't. You really don't. You can. There's a couple of minute women that would rather do that, but they don't. And those are the ones that complain. There was that whole Switzerland fucking rally with feminine women that just didn't approach to work, and like one of a couple of Twitter Switzerland companies going like, the most work we've ever done to date. It's good to have work done around the office. HR hasn't had a single complaint, which is crazy to even think. It's like, oh no, that makes sense. 70 to 80% of things spent are by women. And so, who's complaining? There's probably going to be those feminine, how you say, personality trait men that will complain for the women, or at least complain as a woman. Oh my God. God bless their soul. But literally, they'll complain as a woman. It's like, Jesus Christ, you can't even call these guys a fag nowadays. It's like, you get canceled ASAP. I'm pretty sure just because I said that, I'm going to get canceled ASAP. But when you get these special, like the Olympics, not even special, but it should be deemed special because they portrayed the Last Supper with these, I mean, literally, drag queens portraying the Last Supper, singing a sing-along while kids all over the world are watching the Olympics, Special Olympics. My God, how far have we gone? How far have we gone where we give the minute, minimal population the extraordinary, vast exposure? Yeah, how far does the left go? Because all of them don't agree with Trump's ideology, which is conservative. And what does conservative mean if it's not literally the past is the rule? What was working prior to what we got now works. Why is it so different? Just because we have the internet, just because we can communicate willy-nilly ASAP, doesn't make it so different to where we need to literally disrupt the confines and conditions of how to rule your own life towards the highest amount of good. Is that where we've come to? Oh, I have a Facebook with 2,000 followers. I have a Facebook with 5,000 followers. And so I need to post every single day. I need to post a picture every single day. That way they know what I'm up to. That's what we condense ourselves to. And then you get these fucking non-binary people. Really? Really? So you condense yourself to your sexuality. You condensed yourself to your sexuality. Really. That's how you feel. I'm non-conformant. I don't know what I identify as, but Zer, based on my sexuality. Interesting. It's like those people going like, every oppressed person is a victim, but not every victim is oppressed. Because that's exactly what you're saying too. In the light, every oppressed person is a victim, but is every victim oppressed? So all those guys in jailhouses right now that raped women, decided to commit murder and other criminal acts, are victims? Interesting. That's how you think. That's how you think. So if we literally decide to reduce our energy efficiency by this many percent, the literature and the statistics show that if we cut the thermometer within our house and there's elderly people living in it by 10 degrees, they'll end up 50 to 40% more dying. Like the cause of death with elderly people is if you raise the temperature 10% up because of environmental change, they're more likely to die. So who are you saving for this whole environmental thing? And what does environmental mean? Because that's everything. Environmental. What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, we every plastic bottle saves a sea turtle. Every plastic bag you don't throw away and recycle saves a fish. That's what we're focused on. Is fish. Not having enough fish. Why aren't we focused on cattle farmers? Why aren't we focused on the buffalo that we can also eat? The pheasants, aka turkeys, that we harvest every single November. Squirrels are easily consumable. My dad literally just told me in the mountains they had mountain squirrels that he can't wait. I'm so weak. He can't wait to hunt actual meat, you know? Like back in the day, he would literally have a squirrel, which is crazy to think that the Native Americans would eat that and we don't find that weird, but when a Mexican says it because it was only the 1990s, it's weird. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, we have internet, so everything is different. Really? That's what you think? So hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, if you want to call it that, and the way of living is so different just because we have this way of this hyper sort of communication. That's what it is. I mean, definitely relationships take a little bit less time than they used to. Definitely. Like, oh, do you want to go out on a date with me? You can, she can answer like that. He can answer like that. Priorities, you know. But then back in the 70s, let me send her a letter. Do you want to go on a date? It's gonna take about a couple days until she replies. And so you have that anxiety of, oh, what she's gonna say? What is she gonna say? Now it's like, I just sent it to her. I know she has a time. I know she just literally got this message. So now you have that anxiety of about maybe 2 hours tops, depending how much of a bitch she is, how depending on how much of a whore he is, you know, how many women he's talking to, how many guys she's talking to. She's gonna get back to you, and so, well, pick your poison, cause you know what you're in for. So it's definitely a tool, social media nowadays, because we know the literature and how the people that spend more time on it than not are more depressed because they take the, well, they don't take the Socrates or I think Plato's um, quote about comparison is a thief of joy. And with social media standards, everything's a comparison. Everything's like your friend just got the newest Stanley. Oh my god, I need a whole Stanley now? Because she got a pink one? I need a pink one too. Actually, I'm gonna get the Galaxy Hyper Realism pink. That way I'm way better than her. Or like your boy just hit a PR at the gym, 10 pounds over. Oh fuck. My boy just got a 10-pound. I'm appreciative of that, but I think I can do better. You know? And so you get this in the now. Literally, when who was that professor that advocated for tune in, turn on and drop out? Yeah. I forgot his name. Leary, something like that of that nature. He was a Harvard psychology professor, and he was a big advocate in psilocybin as acid as well in the 1970s, and created this whole mantra of tune in, turn on, drop out. And it's like, well, you made a big mistake there, buddy. I'm so weak, as Jordan Peterson likes to say, buddy. It's like you kind of fucked up, you know, because now all these guys are just having orgies and doing what they did 100,000 years ago, and then wondering why their life is so fucked up. When you should have said, tune in, turn on, and grow up. Literally, you now know after taking these big psychedelic experiences in which you don't need religious purposes, because in my opinion, I feel like the religious corpus, anything you want to, relate to, is just a psychedelic experience made out into stories, but without the psychedelic experience. So those people afraid of mushroom, psilocybin, DMT, whatever have you, don't want to go through it. Read the Quran. read the Bible, read the Tao Te Ching. It's gonna give you the same enlightenment as if you literally dropped 6 grams of mushrooms without the experience. And someone smart enough decided to do that. Decided to write down their experience, and all of a sudden, 2,000 years later, yeah, no, we agree. We agree. That's why you get all these hippies going like, well, I'm Jesus. I'm the Messiah. Just as long as you don't make me do stuff before 12 p.m. Oh, right, because you're getting fucked up all night long. Heard that. Yeah. And so, is it a cult? Is it a religion? What is it? I don't know. Nitpick your little, you know, parts of the Bible, parts of the Quran, parts of the Hindu scriptures, parts of the Tao Te Ching, and connect that with what you're going through now, and hopefully you'll go on a better path. But in this day and age, oh my God, what's going on? I don't even know what's going on nowadays. It's like everyone's trying to make a new thing, you know. Oh, we got this internet, so it's really new, and nothing prior to this internet thing conceptualizes with our thinking. Really, that's what you think? Well, I'll see you in my office in about 6 years. So it's a benefit for me. It's a benefit for any psychoanalysis psychologist, for sure. That's for sure. I've seen this one meme about the Scarface collecting all those racks. And it's like one of the captions where the blue-haired, pierced-up woman comes into your office. All of a sudden, you just see Scarface stacking up money on money and money. Is like, yeah, no, yeah. That's the one you want, man. Like, that's the one you want in your office. Because clearly, she doesn't. Like, what can you conceptualize and portray on why they dyed their hair blue? Or why they have piercings? Well, first and foremost, they're not comfortable with their self. Right. They're not comfortable with themselves. And so what they see in their mirror isn't what they're satisfied with. And so they're dealing with something. Clearly, that's why they came to your office. But some people have those social groups that go like, oh no, you look really good, girl. I look good in piercings. Why don't you get some too? Look at me. I have pink hair. You should get purple. Right, Casper? You look good in purple dye, It's like, Jesus Christ. And it's like, it shouldn't be a big deal at the end of the day. Like, there's that big question of, well, why does their life matter to yours? Why don't you just leave them be, man? Leave them alone, man. It's like, unfortunately, I care a little bit more about that person's well-being than you. Because clearly you have a schedule. Man. We all know that psilocybin mushrooms make you more hornier. So why wouldn't you want those women flaunting their tits out? Being so quote-unquote free? Yeah. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. No, you fucking psychopathic, narcissistic, Machiavellian asshole. Literally. That's what you want. So, take it as you wish, do with which you will. It's one of my quotes that I definitely dissect. It's like, anything anyone says, you can definitely do with what you wish with, because it's your own wish. I mean, in Deadpool 3, it's like a wishful, educational wish. It's like an educational guess, sure. But an educational wish, It's like, oh, you wanted this to happen, but rather than that happening, you believed in it so much that it didn't happen. But you believed in it, so you went for it, which is good. You went for it. No one's taking that away from you, But it's definitely good to have a goal, a plan, a target. So, That's what I try at least to teach a lot of my close closest people is have a target. Jordan Peterson taught me that. Why not teach it to other people? Have a target, have a goal, aim for that, and pursue for the highest form of good. Because we all know what's good, we all know what's bad. No one's looking at a homeless person and saying, "Oh, I want that as my future." No one's looking at a millionaire and saying, "Wow, I wouldn't want that." Yeah. So we all know what's good. We all know what's ultimately bad. And so it just takes a sense of cognitive ability in order to perceive that. That's why people go to counseling in the first place, you know? So hopefully I strive to be that guy in order to set things straight and align people with their path and take other psychologists' perspectives and put it into mine, and also lead people towards the righteous path of good. Because ultimately, I want to definitely take the biblical corpus, but also translate that into the most fundamental, palatable sense of intellectual like not contraceptive, but cognitive comprehension. That's the word. Yeah. So like, if I wanted to literally take what has been used for 2,000 plus years and translate that into what you can use right now, and I know it's going to do more good than bad, why not? Yeah. So, well, that's what I want to do. So hopefully, God guides me through the path of the most virtuous, and WSU isn't too bad. But also, with this degree, I get to help a lot more people than who I, chatted with, to be honest. And hopefully I get more chats with more people in the near future, if you will. My throat's dry. This these Cayman Janks aren't doing squat, but getting me more fucked up. And I like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually it's a big sign of alcoholism when you like getting drunk. Oh, disgusts me now. Anyways, all right. Well, that was definitely 52 minutes of my time. Casper decided to join. Oscar was knocked out for the majority of the time. Ah! But yes, have a beautiful day, guys. This is probably going to be posted tomorrow. Like I said, I'm pretty lit. So whatever I rambled on, I'm definitely going to listen back to it for a bit and see what kind of subjects I tackled on. But Oscar, do you have anything to say for the podcast, bro? Yes. It's kind of sprinkling outside, so I'm going to try to wake him up and get him into his bed. Have a beautiful day, guys. And I'll maybe see you on the Wake Up Wednesday podcast. But thank you for tuning into this one. And make sure to like, share, and visit the YouTube channel. If anything, have a beautiful day, and I'll maybe see you.